Have you ever been out primitive camping and had to take a really nasty poo? Well, I have, and I really don't like it. So what I want to do is try and see if there's a way that I can use regular foods like things high in dairy or fiber and see if I can get a little more, let's say, regular, so that when we do go camping, I can go ahead and start a regimen of something as simple as eating string cheese or Triscuits or drinking a lot more milk, and that way I know that the entire time I'm on the trip, any movements I have will be solid. Now, there are 4 stages, or as I like to call them, categories of poo. The first and least common type is diarrhea, commonly known as mud butt, peeing from your butthole, or the squirts. The second, more common type is called squishy poo. Squishy poo is usually denoted by a feeling of a much heavier poo, followed by an extremely light poo that takes a very, very long time to clean up. The third and most common poo is known as simply the turd. This is when a regular, healthy diet, along with regular amounts of exercise and adequate hydration, end in a good, solid log. Most desirable, however, is what I call the horsey poo. And this is where, when you poo, it's rolled up into tight little balls that are packed in so densely and so tightly, it looks like a miniature version of a horsey poo. So the main idea behind this project is cheese. Now, cheese is a pretty cool thing to eat by itself, but I do know that after eating a little bit of cheese, don't have a problem. After eating a lot of bit of cheese, it can sometimes cause a traffic jam. So, the experiment is going to be basically eating 1 string cheese a day, which I don't normally do, and seeing what that does to help with, let's call it, consistency. I experimented with this once before a primitive trip, and it may have worked, but it may have been other factors in my diet. So what I'm doing is going through and deciding if this is what actually did it by obviously eating this and seeing what sort of a difference it makes compared to beforehand when I wasn't eating it on a regular basis. We'll see if this hypothesis proves to be correct. So what I'm attempting to achieve here is actually not that uncommon. It's pretty much just a regular body function with the enhancement of a little extra fiber, or bonding agent, as I like to call it, string cheese, to kind of help you achieve the most desirable type of poo. Now, given a home situation where you have toilet paper or a shower, whatever you choose to clean yourself off, it's a little easier to just have any willy-nilly sort of poo. But for my purposes, I would really like the horsey poo. It makes it so much easier to just go and not have to worry about a whole lot of cleanup. Also, you don't have to face the embarrassment if you hear someone coming. You can just zip and run. It's a lot easier that way. So for the past 2 weeks, the first week I ate string cheese on a pretty regular basis, just 1 or 2 per day, which really wasn't hard because I like cheese. But the whole point was to make it so that as I ate the cheese, it would be like a daily thing just to get that kind of fiber and dairy and stuff into my diet, into my body. What was interesting was that by the second day, I could really tell a difference, and it was a good thing because it was headed in the right direction. But the weirdest part was at the end of the first week when I decided to stop eating the cheese, it still continued that same way for about 4 to 5 days, which was a pretty welcome surprise. So that made me think maybe there's a little more to just eating the cheese and fiber instead of just the night before or during the trip. Maybe you can eat it for a little while beforehand, and then by the time you go on the trip, your body will already be ready to go. So after 2 weeks, the results are in. It's pretty awesome, pretty conclusive actually. The cheese did extremely well, and adding in a couple other things like Triscuits and oatmeal doesn't really hurt, but it's not going to help too much because you don't want to overfiber your diet. You also don't want to get your body used to it. So if you're going to be out primitive camping, then something that would be a really good idea would be to have some string cheese on hand, or to eat a lot of cheese beforehand, along with a normal high fiber diet to kind of help things flow, kind of help keep it clean. It's going to be much more beneficial, and I'm actually going to give it a try here in the next couple weeks as we go on another trip, just to see how well it really works in the field. But so far as a binding agent, as far as something that is really going to make it so that you can just not have to worry about that aspect of camping, string cheese is the way to go. If you think this is a great idea, hey, subscribe. We got a whole bunch of more ideas. If you think this is a dumb idea, then just tell me, but it works, so shut up. You know, give us a shout, send us a video response, or post some comments. Like us, hate us, I don't care. Florida Adventurers. What are you doing? Are you trying to poop? Are you trying to poop? Huh? Trying to poop? You trying to? Did you eat too much cheese? Did you eat too much cheese? Huh? Hey. 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 You like cheese?